Delivering my first humorous speech was like a hurricane in my mind. Pure chaos. One side of me was pumped. Yes, this speech will be legendary. The audience will laugh, they'll cry, they'll carry me out on their shoulders, chanting my name. The other side? Oh no, oh no! What if they don't laugh? What if the only sound is a single cough, echoing through the void? What if the local grocery store launched a spoiled tomato sale, specifically for my speech? Somehow I negotiated a fragile truce in my head and braced for impact. I just had to deliver the speech now. At a restaurant? And let me tell you, this wasn't just any restaurant. It was the real star of the event. This place was powerful. There were swords on the walls, a guy in the corner sharpening an axe. The menu just said meat, wine, betrayal. Yep, it was a Game of Thrones themed restaurant. And I allow that for them. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I don't even know if Game of Thrones is a movie or a TV show. But I respect the commitment. When the owner opened this place, I imagine he thought, you know what the world needs? A place when you can eat chicken wings while pretending you're about to execute your cousin. But the real problem? The music. At any moment, bam! The Game of Thrones theme blasts through the speakers like a dragon with a migraine. So, picture this. You're giving a nice, calm speech, maybe about a peaceful walk through a meadow. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, the grass was soft under my. Suddenly, and now your vibe is ruined. The only words that feel right are the kingdom is under siege. Who dares to challenge my right to this meadow? Bring me the hat of the gardener. Whew. As I was saying, the daisies were lovely. And then bam! Music again! Dragons! Which dragons? Tear them all apart! Bring me their hearts on a platter! Boo! Whew. So, in conclusion, the nature is beautiful, thank you. Fine, we'll write it down! Conquest! More conquest! And that's, my friends, is how my first humorous speech turned into a gathering to fight off dragons. I am joking. So, between fighting imaginary dragons and declaring war on gardeners, you might wonder how I even wrote a speech in the first place. I didn't have a text before my first speech. When your brain is a generator of chaos, you don't just need a truth. You need reinforcements. You need mentors. My reinforcements arrived in the form of Lesa and Natalia, our Toastmaster Club drivers. And they are not just mentors, they're the masters of the perfect speech. You can give them a list of silly sentences that barely form a coherent thought, and they will hand you back a masterpiece. You know, delivering all these speeches is cool, but when do you really get to test yourself? Well, moment arrived when our club announced its speech contest. My immediate reaction was a calm, rational. Absolutely not! Me in a competition who somehow muddled through my first speech? That's like asking a goldfish to climb a tree. It's not gonna happen. And someone will get wet and confused. It was a firm no. A hard no. A definite. I would rather wrestle a guy with the axe at the restaurant. I was throwing out every excuse in my mind. I am not ready. My topic isn't funny enough. What if my speech just becomes me breathing heavily into the microphone for several minutes? Ah, right. There isn't a microphone. And that's when mentors hit me with the emotional support brick. The question that disarms all panic. They said, what if you just try? In the worst scenario, nothing happens. In the best, you win. But most likely, you just get huge experience. It was so reasonable, so simple. It was infuriating. How do you argue with that? You can't. Faced with that much support and undeniable logic, I did what any sane person would do. I gave a decisive and defiant yes. So, after all that, I know what you're thinking. Did I win the contest? Let's just say I won't be building any suspense. I'll be honest. If the story was a movie, you already know the ending. Of course, I didn't win. But I did get a prize. The prize was another speech. Yes, the very next day they asked me to be a secret speaker for the evaluation contest. That's where you give a speech so that other people can compete by judging you. At first, I was thrilled. Double the experience, another chance to conquer the stage. But then, my thinking shifted. What if they chose me to be the perfect bad example? You know, let's get the guy who will demonstrate every possible mistake one can make on the stage. He's the perfect guinea pig for our contest. But do you know what I understood from this secret speaker role? I actually love evaluators. They're the only people on this planet who listen to your speech from the first word to the last. Your friends don't. Your family doesn't. Half of the time my brain doesn't. So when an evaluator says, good try, you know it's not just politeness. It's backed by serious reflection. They help you see your speech from totally different angle and turn it into something truly great. And now for the most crucial element in this entire journey. It's one thing that makes all of this possible. The foundation upon which every speaker is built. It's you, the audience. Your role on paper seems easy. Just try not to fall asleep. But your real job is so much more important. You are the mirror we speak into. Every laugh at the story about the Game of Thrones restaurant, every nod of understanding, every sympathetic cringe when I mention spoiled tomatoes. That's the live feedback that turns a hurricane of chaos in a speaker's mind into a coherent speech. You provide the energy that transforms a terrified person fighting the music theme in the restaurant into someone who can stand here and do this. You are the reason we dare to speak at all. So I urge you to embrace your own inner chaos. Step onto this stage because this journey isn't about becoming a perfect speaker. It's about learning that even if the music is weird and when you say betrayal, you can still tell your story.